There was a hunter in the Legion, a legend.
No matter who or what he is, he's after our bounty.
Make sure this is the right one.
It's her.
Good. Kill her.
Who are you?
Game wise, I'm here to help you.
I just need to know what in the hell is going on.
I think we might have stumbled into a war with one of the most powerful dynasties in the universe.
Why is this happening to me?
You are royalty. Your Majesty.
You are in for a surprise when you find out what I do for a living.
It's not what you do. It's what you are.
I want her found, and I want her dead.
Your Majesty's life is going to change.
Why help me?
Your Earth is a very small part of a very large industry. Right now, Barlem owns the title to Earth. Once you claim it, the Earth will belong to you.
I will harvest that planet tomorrow before I let her take it from me.
We need a plan. We need firepower.
In case I get the chance again.
You've been searching for one thing your whole life. And she's down there. Here we go.
You should have stayed dead.
I want to like this movie. I'm a big fan of the Wachowskis. I still believe in them despite Cloud Atlas, which I think was their first big misstep, and I hope they can recover. I love Speed Racers. You hear me talk about it all the time on this channel. It's one of my favorite films. I think it's just beautiful and really underappreciated. And I like Channing Tatum. I really respect what he's trying to accomplish with his career, and so far seems to actually be accomplishing. It's not just an effort. He's succeeding. I love him in the 21 Jump Street movies. I thought he did a great job with Magic Mike. He really was able to embrace his stripper past instead of letting it be a problem for him. And I want to see him be Gambit. I know a lot of you don't agree with me, but I think he could do for Gambit what Hugh Jackman did for Wolverine. Although, this movie's making me a little nervous about that. I have problems here with Channing Tatum, but largely Mila Kunis. She's the big problem here. I think the acting here overall is what worries me, because I also love special effects movies that take place in space, and this looks beautiful. Although, as I said with the first trailer, I still kind of think it's ripping off The Fifth Element, and nobody needs to rip off The Fifth Element, and no one should. It's a great movie that still holds up. Really good. Mila Jovovich introduced her to the action genre, to movies, her first big role. Bruce Willis, and Bruce Willis is kind of playing the Channing Tatum's kind of playing the Bruce Willis role here. I mean, you can see the correlation, and not only in the actors, but the costume and set design, the color scheme. Very similar to Fifth Element. I wouldn't be surprised to hear the Wachowskis had watched The Fifth Element, in fact, because this is a departure for them. This is more colorful. I mean, there are elements of Cloud Atlas you see here with the futuristic timeline that they explored there. You kind of see that maybe that was almost like research for this movie, or they were like, that's pretty, let's continue to play with that. But I like everything that's happening on screen, as I said, but the actors. Channing Tatum even, like, why does he only have a British accent for, like, that first shot where he, like, catches her in that hospital room? And then he seems to lose it halfway through the shoot where they like, you know what, this is just not working, Channing. This is a bad idea. We can't afford to reshoot it, but you can go ahead and drop it. I mean, how can you do that? It's very distracting to me. It takes me out of the trailer, and I want to like him. I love his space boots, those, like hover boots or whatever. I think they're very cool. They have a cool, like, a light trail. I think that looks really awesome. So I like, and I think his fighting moves look okay, even if they kind of look like dance fight moves. It's okay. Maybe in this futuristic space world, they dance fight. And that's Channing Tatum's specialty, I would assume. But Mila Kunis, though, she's the real problem here. She just does not blend. she's very modern, and I don't think she can do fantasy or period pieces. And, in Oz the Great and Powerful, it was kind of amusing that she didn't fit in. I kept, thinking of Family Guy with Meg every time she spoke. I guess it kind of worked because her character was an outsider in that movie. But now, I think that's only a one-off. She only gets that once. Now I'm just like, Mila, you just don't fit here. And Eddie Redmayne, who knows what he's doing, but I actually kind of like it. He's super overacting, but he at least seems to fit in this world, and he's taking, chances. I can't decide if it's like the Duke in Moulin Rouge, which worked, or if it's like Michael Sheen in Tron Legacy, which did not work, to the point where my sister leaned over to me while we were watching Tron Legacy and said, wow, Michael Sheen just ruined his career. And she was right, because he never was able to bounce back after Tron Legacy. You'll notice he doesn't really work anymore, and I think that's why, because he just did a David Bowie impression that was horrible and embarrassing, and I wonder for Eddie Redmayne what this will do for him. But he doesn't have a ton of opportunities, despite being in Les Mis. He didn't really move forward too much. He might have some stuff in the can, but he's not really the lightning in the bottle. He didn't get the a front of the line pass like I think maybe he had hoped. So the acting, meh. So what? Let me see. Let me check my notes here. Yeah. So that's basically how I felt about the trailer. I feel it could still go either way. I could end up really liking it and be like, this is like another Speed Racer where people just don't get it, and I wish more people understood how awesome this movie is. Or it could be like Cloud Atlas, which some people, granted, do like and really defend. Like I defend Speed Racer, but which flopped at the box office. Although so did Speed Racer. The Wachowskis, wow, this is pretty much, I think, if they bomb here, I would be surprised if anyone ever gave them any more money again, because they seem to really have a great understanding of what they want to do, and they're very famous for saying they don't want to play the Hollywood game, and I respect that to some degree. But you have to play the audience-pleasing game, because when you spend hundreds of millions of dollars, or even tens of millions of dollars, people who gave you that money want their money back and more. That's why they gave it to you. This isn't like the Wachowskis aren't running like some non-profit here that makes space movies. I mean, if you're going to make a non-profit movie company, I don't think they would make space movies that star Channing Tatum. So what do you think? Does this make you feel like Gambit's off the table? Should someone take this and send it to Lauren Schuler Donner and go, "What are you, crazy?" Or do you think he's just warming up and he'll get the kinks out here? Do you agree with me about Mila Kunis? Do you feel she just sticks out too much? Or do you find her charming and enchanting? I mean, although, she wasn't Ted, but I don't think she was the draw in Ted. I don't know why people keep casting her, because she's yet to prove that she's really a box office draw at all. So, I think that every time I watch this trailer or anything from this movie, I'm like, if only someone else had been cast in this role. What do you think of Eddie Redmayne? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's embarrassment? Or do you think it's brilliant? Write your thoughts down below. And do you like those space boots? Write your thoughts down below, and you can check out some more episodes right now.